MIA Animation Conference and Festival. We're taking you to a place where magic happens. Yes, be among the first to experience magic. The new, state-of-the-art animation and game design studio at Miami-Dade College. Professionals who work for Disney, Pixar, Cartoon Network, CNN, and more are on board as mentors.
So here I am with an incredible female role model, Beatriz. So tell me, why is it a great day to be in downtown Miami?
Because it is event number 5, and I am thrilled beyond belief to be here. This is my hometown. I have seen this city evolve. I've seen this city grow. I've seen this college grow. I am extremely honored to be here. Very, very proud of Dr. Bardon, and so proud to see all of these faces, all of these young kids with just this gusto for life and this desire to do something and be something. And I'm just very, very happy to be a part of it.
Yes. So you have a very big job at CNN Espanol, and you're up now in Atlanta, but you come back and you see this city change. So how do you think Miami's changed from a creative capacity just in the last few years?
Extremely international. I've been gone now for 5 years, but CNN does have a bureau here, so I make it down often. And it is just very much of an international crowd. I was just speaking to a colleague the other day that I worked with many, many years ago. We didn't have half of the technology that these kids have to work with. I was doing things with like plate glass and food coloring and olives, and you know, it's completely different. It's just so modern, so beautiful, and I'm just very, very proud of what has been put together here in this space.
That's great. So tell us, how did you get your starts? What's your educational background? And I hear that your mother played a little role in this.
My mother was the #1 Spanish language news anchor in this market for 25 years. Her name is Leticia Callava. She's now retired. And I started hanging around the station when I was very, very young, days off of school. We didn't have a nanny, and she just said, just come with me to work. So I started hanging around the station, and I was bitten by the TV bug at that point in time, and she just kind of honed my skills. I was very, very lucky that I had a series of mentors, people that really helped me out, that took me under their wing to a certain extent, taught me the craft, and then I just kind of fell into the creative services role.
And now you manage a lot of artists. So a lot of these people behind us are going to be people that are coming up and working for you. So what kind of advice do you give to artists who are at this point in their education learning this kind of skill set?
Don't leave the educational process, but beyond that, and this is the most important thing of all, there needs to be a passion, and everybody needs to think outside of the box. You can sit in front of a computer and you can learn a program and you can perfect that, but your mind should always be kind of going outside of that, whereby as you say, okay, the computer can do this, but what can I do with my head that maybe the computer doesn't do, but maybe I could teach the computer to do that, or I could write a program for that, and then I could apply that. It's to think outside the box. And whenever a boss says, you can't do that, you can't do that, because we don't have the software for that, we don't have the infrastructure for that, and I say, but wait, I know I can. That was my thing with the glass and the food coloring and the oil when I needed blood, right, over my screen. But they just have to think outside the box and don't take no for an answer.
Innovate and make sure that they're following what their true career path is.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different options. So you're in the sort of more of the marketing capacity.
That is correct.
So tell me, if you could give an animator a piece of advice for how do you create a great marketing spot or an advertising spot that integrates animation? What's one little piece of advice?
Probably the most important thing, because I think as artists, everybody wants to put their own stamp on everything. But the fact of the matter is that there's a brand, and you have to stay true to that brand. You look at CNN, and CNN has been on the air since 1980. We have the same CNN red, we have the same CNN logo. And you need to stay true to your brand, evolve, but I think always think towards the future. Like if somebody looks at what I'm doing right now, 10 years down the road, is it still going to be true to the brand? Will they still remember that that's what it is? You know, Coca-Cola doesn't change, CNN has never changed, and I think that that is vital from a marketing perspective and also an animator's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So know the brand, use your creative talents, but mostly stay inside, educate yourself, stay inside of the educational process, and really do what you can to ultimately become an amazing role model female like you. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
The best investment in our future is the education of our children. But for many families in our community, finishing high school and attending college is only a dream. Take Stock in Children turns that dream into a reality by providing mentors, scholarships, and hope to underprivileged, at-risk teens in our community. Hi, I'm Shane Battier. Please join us. Become a mentor, a volunteer, or donate, and help make a difference. Go to our website and help change the life of a child.
Here we are with Matthias, special effects man and animator. Tell me about this.
A little bit. So I'm Matthias, like you said, so thank you. I work with Maxon, makers of Cinema 4D. It's 3D animation visual effects software. So we're here supporting Magic and Miami.
This is not your first time at Tell me, how many times have you been to Miami during this time frame, Miami Animation Conference?
I haven't been to Miami enough because I love the city. It's just perfect. But the thing about it is we've been here from the start. Mauricio contacted us back when it was called Miami, and then he evolved it and told us about what was being built here. So we've been a sponsor for a long time. That's
great. So what do you see now? We've got tremendous opportunities for these young people using software like yours. They have more tools ever that they've had. So what are the opportunities now with new technology and animation?
It really is endless. So, I mean, our software is used in everything from video game design, feature films, visual effects, medical animation. So, for medical animation, a lot of people don't think, but every time you turn on the TV, you're seeing commercial animation, so titles, intros, outros, lower thirds. Every story now is being told with a component, and if you can't do it with people and you can't do it with products, it's done with animation. So every story now has a component that can be animated.
Not to mention the 3D devices that are coming out. Your business is about to explode, just saying.
It already is. Yeah, we're just keeping up.
It's just going through the roof. Okay, so now we talked about the opportunities. What about some of the biggest challenges facing young animators?
So one of the things is definitely a lot of people want to get there too quick. Everyone's looking for the quick fix, and I think that's just a problem with society. The nice thing is our software is the fastest, easiest to learn, full-featured out there. The youngest user I ran across, 5 years old. She was making titles for her YouTube channel. Her dad told me
that would be my kid, by the way.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So they're already advanced. So I think one of the things is learning the key components, getting the basics down, understanding lighting, texturing, the core. Instead of just jumping in, just trying to make something cool, understanding color, composition, timing, the classic stuff that is the art form that expands time. Because the tools are always going to get better, but if you don't already have the eye for it, those are the things you're going to really need to work on.
And some people are good at learning independently and remotely, and they could go see their online tutorials, but a lot of people need an environment like this. What do you think about Magic now that you've seen this space?
I'm jealous. I have not seen really a lab that is this set up. Number one, for everything from pre-production, post-production. I think the whole team has done an amazing job. I think it's setting a new standard in technology for sure. When you can just walk in and this becomes your new library, I mean, come on.
Yeah. So you're an LA boy and I'm a Miami girl. So if you have one hope or dream for Miami into a way that we can develop ourselves as a creative class that complements Los Angeles, not competes with it, what advice would you give Miami?
Well, I think Miami just needs to keep being Miami. I think there's so much culture here. There's so much fashion. It is already, as far as when I think of the West Coast and entertainment capital on the West Coast, LA, entertainment capital of the world. But when I think of East and everything, it's like really where else to go but Miami if you're looking for that art culture and everything like that. So I think just Miami keeping its originality, not trying to be anything other than it's already perfect. Just let everybody else know what's here.
Yeah, and let the people in Miami know that we've got great educational opportunities like those at Magic to grow the creative class, and there's a real demand for creatives here.
Yeah, so. Without question. I mean, from Univision, Telemundo, there's so many different stations. Just the entire, I guess, South and Southeast is growing crazy in production. And now with technology, as you can see, you can get top-notch output with very little. Yeah.
So we're here. We're all very proud of Magic. Thanks for coming out. Look forward to seeing you next year.
Again, Jessica.
Be creative. Be a hero. Be the solution. Be connected. Be innovative. Be global. Be successful. Be you. Be MDC. Be Miami-Dade College.
Welcome to all of you here to the Wolfson campus of Miami-Dade College. where the 2014 MIA Animation Conference and Festival is being held.
I've been an animator for almost 40 years and worked on a number of films. And I was kind of fortunate that when I began my career in animation, it began. I began sort of as a lot of the golden age artists were ending their careers, so I had a chance to kind of, learn a lot of secrets and tricks from them.
Traditional animators were suddenly becoming obsolete.
Got it.
So we thought, in the world of Roger Rabbit, where cartoon characters are real, if they lived here today and now, they would all be obsolete.
Today, we will officially unveil the plans for the future development of the Miami Animation Gaming International Complex, that from now on better known as MAGIC. This is MAGIC in the Magic City of Miami, folks. Thank you. Amenities will include an interactive gallery of student projects, an open and interdisciplinary state-of-the-art living lab featuring the brain, a motion capture studio where objects take flight and life, classrooms equipped with the latest technology that will feature dual touchscreen interfaces and hands-on learning experiences.
So this is why this facility here is going to be so important to the prospects for all of these students coming through here, and perhaps local filmmakers that can use this as a resource to help empower their careers for the future.
I think it opens up a whole new world of artists out there who are able to come to Miami-Dade and learn a field which previously might have not been available to them at the price point that it's at.
From what I saw, the unveiling of MAGIC here, it looks like this facility is going to be on par with the top-notch facilities around the world.
It's great to have something like this right here in Miami that allows you access to the talent that's coming out of the schools these days.
Absolutely, and also I'd like to be able to have our network build a relationship with these schools.
Just everything I'm seeing and hearing about it seems like there is so much community support for the animation industry here. There's so much governmental support.
Anybody that needs to go way back to the West Coast or back to wherever you're going that needs to know whether or not Florida is 100% behind Dr. Padron and Dr. Rodriguez and what they're doing here at the college, just know that that's going to be happening. We're going to make a very profound statement in the next legislative session when it comes to funding for this kind of a thing. And I just wish you all the best. I wish you a great conference, and I'm really behind everything that's going on in this animation conference. Thank you so much for being out here. I appreciate it.
So here we've got a CNN superstar, Yvonne, and tell me, you are a graphic designer, and you design a bunch of different kinds of graphics. Why don't you talk to us about what different kinds of graphics need to be designed these days?
Well, there's graphics for show openers. When a show starts, it introduces the show. There's graphics for breaking news. Something happened around the world and you just, want a little quick thing to lead you into that story. There's also graphics for sales reels. When we present to people that we're trying to get sponsorship from, you want to enhance those reels between videos and graphics. There's logos that you need to create for shows that are going to be standing, you're going to be watching these logos for the next 10 years, so they need to be strong, solid logos.
So you in the past, right now you're creative. You've managed creatives in the past, and I thought what you said was really interesting about learning what you like best. Do you want to be just an animator, or do you want to be in charge of a whole bunch of animators? Tell us your experience.
I like doing both. When I was managing, I did like being a mentor. I liked guiding people, directing them. I got a reward off of that, but I did miss the creative side of it. I spent a lot of times in meetings and just trying to manage. Then I went back to just being a creative, and I love the fact that I can use my brain. It fulfills that creative side of me. So I have to say I like them both, but I love being a creative. I do.
So if you had advice for this new generation of creatives, you've got college kids college-age kids here, what would you tell them about the future of the industry?
Learn as much as you can, always stay up to date, always think outside the box. You know, just because you haven't seen it done before doesn't mean it's not going to be cool. I mean, it's good to look at something that someone's done and say, I want to make that, but make it your own too. You know, make it better. Learn always, even if you don't have access to, you know, a classroom to learn a program, pick up a book and learn it yourself. Because the more you know the programs nowadays, the more marketable you're going to remain. If you just learn one program and that's all you know, eventually you're going to become obsolete.
Yes, and that is not the goal of a collegiate education, becoming obsolete.
No.
So tell us about technology. Is there more technology nowadays than when you were learning?
I think it's more advanced nowadays, and the programs are definitely more user-friendly, easier to learn, and what you can do, I mean, a lot of the stuff in the old days, something as simple as a lens flare. We used to have to make our own lens flares using, you know, a little circle, and you fuzz it out, and nowadays you have plugins that'll do it for you, and the plugins are just amazing. But you get those plugins, and again, you take it to a different level. You don't just use a plugin and just stick it on an animation, you know, you manipulate it, make it your own. Maybe even combine a few different plugins together. You know?
That is such a crucial point, because now with software platforms and in the cloud, you can buy an After Effects template for $12. But you want to make sure that even if you're using tools and learning how to be effective, how do you make it your own and make things beautiful in an era where there's so much competition?
Well, you're right. I mean, there's templates out there that you can buy for $12, but that's a template, and just like you're going to use it, 20,000 other people can use the template, and it's not your own. So, you know, at least in my job, we create our own backgrounds. We create, you know, we'll see an effect, but we'll combine it with other effects to make a new effect. You know, we make it our own. We don't just take something and just use that. That's what differentiates you between the run-of-the-mill person.
So do you have student interns that you currently work with, or do you even encourage students to do internship opportunities?
I definitely encourage internships. A lot of times as an internship, you're placed in an environment where you're going to see what the real world is going to be like. You know, when you're in school, it's a whole other place than in the real world. Not only that, it can open your doors to getting a job where you're at. So when you do an internship, don't just sit there and like do nothing. Be part of that team. You know, try to integrate yourself into that team. What can I do to help? You know, and stuff like that, because that's going to possibly open the doors to getting a job. Many interns start like that, and then they get their first job like that.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of CNN interns that then become CNN employees.
Yes. And when I was at Univision, the same thing. You start as an intern, and you get your job like that.
Well, thanks for joining us and being a contribution to Magic. It's a nice facility, right?
It's amazing. Mauricio's done an amazing job. I love it.
We're very proud.
You
I'm a Miami girl, so
I am too.
I'm rooting. I
am too. And Mauricio and I go way back, and I'm very proud of what he has done here. It's an amazing. And the kids that go here, my God, I wish we would have had this when I was in school.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. Well, cheers to Mauricio.
Cheers to Mauricio.
Be creative. Be a hero. Be the solution. Be connected. Be innovative. Be global. Be successful. Be you. Be MDC. Be Miami-Dade College.
The best investment in our future is the education of our children. But for many families in our community, finishing high school and attending college is only a dream. Take Stock in Children turns that dream into a reality by providing mentors, scholarships, and hope to underprivileged, at-risk teens in our community. Hi, I'm Shane Battier. Please join us. Become a mentor, a volunteer, or donate and help make a difference. Go to our website and help change the life of a child.
Here we are with David, great game designer, successful animator, and entrepreneur. Why don't you talk about your game?
Our game is called Dig Away. It's a puzzle platformer. You can download it on Apple Store now. We're going to put it on Android devices next January. It's a free download. It's a pretty cool game. You can check out by yourself, but it's all made with Toon Boom, the animation software that I use, and that's why I came here to show that software.
Excellent. And you've been super successful at not only creating a great game, but marketing your game. Tell us about some of your successes.
Apple helped us a lot because they put us on the front page. We met them at the earlier last year, and I thought we were only going to be on the front page in Brazil. But when we released it, we were on the front page on all countries, and I was like, wow. So
how many downloads?
Over 1.5 million downloads in the first 3 weeks. So that was a
chicka boom, chicka wow, wow. Okay, so tell us, how do you balance being a great artist but also making money? Because that's a hard thing for artists to do sometimes, is to balance. How do you make the money and be an awesome artist?
At first, like, we're a small studio. We started really small because we're indie studios. So to make Dig Away, for example, we're not making any dime until we release it. So we were doing more work for other studios and creating games for other studios that hire us. And half of that time we were working on Dig Away until we release it, and then we start getting money from that. So you have to have that balance between, you know, your own work and work for others. But it's a lot of work, but at the end it pays off.
Yeah, it's fun. And there's no better way to kill your creativity than to be broke.
Yeah, of course. But you're following your dream, right? Like, if I wanted to just work for others, I would never quit my job and open this company.
Right.
But this is my dream, to make my own games and put my creativity to work. So that helps, to never give up and just keep going. Even if the money doesn't come at first, if you just keep going, it will eventually come.
So to make sure you got to pay your bills, make sure you can buy art supplies, make sure you can buy new computers.
Yeah, software.
And great software. Okay, so what is your advice then to animators that are now learning in this awesome environment here?
I would say find your style, but don't just stick with it. Like, it's easy to just do whatever style you like. But, okay, you're going to be really good at that. But try to, check out other styles too. And if you're like cartoonish, just try to study a little bit of, really realistic or whatever. And, just find the tools that are right for you. Like, I found this tool that's right for me, which is Toon Boom.
Yes.
But yeah, it depends from person to person. I recommend that one.
And now, one of the things some of the other speakers have said, you can't just know one software or just have one style or just do one part of the process. There's so many different pieces you need to learn.
Exactly.
The marketing, the design, I mean, there's just a whole world of it. Tell us from your opinion.
You really do have to have a great team, right? It's good to find a great team that knows every aspect of creating a game or creating just the art. So if you have a 2D artist, that's good, but don't try to be the 2D artist and the 3D artist and the animator and the programmer, whatever. Just find everyone that's going to do each one of these things, so it's not too overwhelming on one person, and everyone's really good at that one thing, but knows a little bit of the other things too.
That's a great piece of advice, is to have a team of collaborators around you. And the more also, I think that as an entrepreneur, our goal is to not only make money ourselves, but to be creating jobs for other artists. Because that's really, you have to admit that when you have money and you can pay other artists to do their thing, that's a pretty cool position to be in.
Yeah, it's very rewarding. Yeah, when you start to grow, then that's when you see, this is really works. This is not just a hobby or anything. This will take me somewhere.
Yes.
So this is the point where you just get really exciting.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for being an inspiration to our students here, and to be a success story that they can look up to and say, I want to be like David when I grow up.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.